So what is that model that we're trying to build? A very simple schematic, and I must give credit where credit is due. Many of you will know Phil Billingham, and he is the creator of this very simple visual. In fact, he wrote an article some time ago that compared what he describes as the new model firm with the old model. The old model was also a blue pyramid, and at the top of the pyramid was advisor, and the bottom of the pyramid was administrator. And Phil's message was about the conflict that exists in financial services with that old model. And I think the way I would articulate it would be to say that in the old model, the advisor was pretty much responsible for just about everything. Acquisition of the client, know your customer, getting all the evidence of client identity, taking all that information away, gathering information about existing products, doing the research, doing the analysis, getting the illustrations, producing the suitability letter and the application forms, going back and getting the client to sign it up, and then only when all of that was done, bringing the advice that had been given, the product that had been sold, into the centre, to the administration, to the compliance department, to the management team, and then arguing the toss about whether or not best advice had been delivered. A risk-based model by anybody's standards. Billingham goes on to describe a much more modern approach to it, a team-based approach to it, in which somebody has the role of delivering the brand to the potential customer, of actually explaining what it is they do and what values they're going to get. And it may be that that finder role is a different person, so the person who ultimately goes back and presents the advice to the client. But those roles are supported by the support team who make the minder and finder look good. But it is a consensus-based approach, because no advice goes out to the consumer until everybody involved in the process has agreed that it's the most suitable advice. In order to work that new model, it is absolutely necessary to work as a team. And I said just now that I described to you what I think the 4 key attributes of a team player in a new model financial advisory firm are, and there they are. Emotional security, sounds very American, doesn't it? Emotional security, keeping your ego under control, because people who allow their ego to drive them will not make a very good team player. They have to understand how to relate to other people within the team. They need to be highly teachable. And in a moment or two I'll share with you some of our systems and processes, and you will see that in the main they are simple systems and processes, but actually you still need to be able to embrace them, and to be able to embrace them you need to be taught how to use them. They need to be service orientated, and certainly within the last 2 years, with the difficult economic climate, the difficult market conditions, the delivery of ongoing service to clients has been not only what has maintained our relationship with clients and kept them within the firm, but also been an important reason why we've attracted new clients into our company. And they need to be creative, because the one thing that I can say to you about the firm is that whilst we know we're good at what we do, we know also that we can always get better. And therefore creative people will be looking for ways of improving the quality of what we deliver to our clients. They also have an important role, and that important role is basically to get rid of me. Because I asked myself the question recently, what value does informed choice actually have? And I have to tell you the answer is not as much value with me in situ as it would have if my team made me redundant. Now that might sound a bit strange, it also may sound a little threatening, but I think we have to recognise that if somebody wants to buy a business, they want to make sure that that business can prosper and make profit without the originator being in place. And therefore part of our goal of acquiring the right people who are team-based, emotionally secure, highly teachable, who are creative and service orientated, is that they replace us, and therefore we truly have a business. I do not believe we have a business until it's possible to replace the business owner. And therefore we need to make sure that it is a true team, and a true team has alignment at any number of levels. They certainly are aligned in terms of goals and objectives, in terms of delivery to clients, but they also have alignment in terms of reward. And if you think about the model I just showed you, the finder role within the firm we believe is worth about 20% of the revenue that comes into the firm. The minder role, much more intensive, delivery of advice, delivery of implementation, delivery of review services, about 40% of the revenue that comes into the firm. And the support team, because of the intensity of what they do, around again about 40% of the value of revenue coming into the firm. And therefore salaries and remuneration need to be aligned in that fashion. But it's not just about pay now, it's also about pay in the future. And we honestly believe that if you're building a team-based intermediary practice, that the team should be able to share in the capital value of the firm when it gets sold. Now, I perfectly appreciate that the risk that the business owners have is greater than the risk of the team that supports them, and therefore it has to be proportionate. But if you can align the capital buyout of the firm with the support and finder and minder roles as well, you truly build aligned rewards into the practice. So brand and people, what does that leave us? It leaves us to move on to systems and processes. If you were part of my organisation, you would be so fed up of me banging on about this subject, but it is an important part of the valuation of a business for a number of reasons. The first reason is that if you have robust systems and processes, it enables the production of bespoke outcomes to your clients, but in a consistent fashion, in a consistent approach. It means you can be more effective because it drives efficiency into your business. At any point in time, if you have robust systems and processes, everybody should know what it is they're doing and why they are doing it. And it also has another benefit, and that benefit is it tends to drive out risk. Risk comes into the intermediary practice, in my view, when individuals are left to their own devices. Risk is driven out of the business when everybody is following a consistent pattern of approach. Let me show you an example of our system. This is a system that we use in the delivery of advice, implementation and review services to our clients. We define a system as being the big picture, and then the processes are the steps that underpin the system that we've created. And it's very simplistic, as you can see. On the left hand side there you can see the four letters EAIR, AIR as we refer to it, the engagement process, the advice process, the implementation process and the review process. And on your seats as you came in this morning, you'll find some examples of our process charts, and I'm going to run through those with you in a moment. But you can see, working your way around the system, that there are a number of points at which we need to ensure we have those robust processes. Very, very simple, but having a system means everybody should know where they are at any point in time.